Great kid, don't get cocky. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are with issue 88. Let's go ahead and pop this open real quick. Let's snag the old magazine, see what we got going on in here. So we're going to talk about the Epsilon class command shuttle. So this is from the Force Awakens and all those. So yeah, and then we're going to talk about fleet tactics, the basics. So do we not go to a planet? We did go to a planet. I missed it. Visiting Meridoon. And that, you would have seen that in Clone Wars. So again, fleet tactics basics. And then we're going to see our next parts. So here's our next parts. They match what more or less what we got the last time. Where we got, oh, look, wire clips. That's pretty cool. We'll have to see if I can get more of those. The wires are starting to get quite unruly. We get some more screws. Those will come in handy. Let's get the wire clips. I would say someplace safe, but no place is safe right now. A bit of framework. Set that over there. Get this off. And more LEDs. So we are likely going to be putting these together. And I've been contemplating this for quite some time. And sadly, have not come up with a game plan yet. So here's the problem. Let me kind of put this together. So if we do this, and we put these LEDs across here, right? You can see that these LEDs, helps if this doesn't come apart, but you can see that these LEDs don't completely cover this whole space. Like it almost needs to have another one or two LEDs. Probably two would be ideal, which is kind of bothersome for me. I want to make sure, or I would prefer to have full coverage. So what I'm going to do is try to find, you can get these LED strips, and I've been trying to see if I can find any locally, because I'd like to get my hands on it to see exactly what I'm getting. The idea would be to get white, because that's what these are going to be, is white LEDs, and I would like to just get an idea of how long this strip is. So our strip is currently from 9, so it's 6.5 inches, right? Yeah, 6.5 inches. So if we got the two of them together, and this is not super accurate, but if we do like this, we're looking at 7.5 inches times 2, 15 inches. I need 15 inches of LEDs, and by the time these get put together like this, you're going to have something with a gap in here. And I've seen other videos where they've got gaps, and there are some aftermarket stuff. One of them is very, very cool. Comes with an Arduino and all that kind of stuff. The problem with that is it's to get both sides, it's $95, and Gary is not spending $95 for those. So sadly, I did not get the LEDs in advance. So in this video, we won't get the LEDs put in. But we will prep for the LEDs one way or the other. I do have a possible option for putting them in. And one of the options is, so you have these will go like this, and this part goes on the bottom, I believe. Or maybe it's the other way around. It probably is. It probably goes like that. No, because I know for sure that this is on one side. Yeah. So yeah, it'll go like this. So one option is to put this hole on that side and run the LEDs from the other side and then push them close together. I've seen that. That works out pretty well. Only problem is you have a bit of a gap on the ends, which is why I would like to try to find one entire strip that I can get. One of the things also I want to try to make sure is I can get it to where these LEDs are the same distance apart. We're looking at 5/8 of an inch apart from each other. So that will be kind of important to try to make sure I find as well if I can, somewhere around a 1/2 inch apart and for 15 inches. I believe I should, even though these each plug into a separate power source, I believe I should be able to run an entire 15 inches off of one power source. So I don't think that'll be a problem. So one idea will be to put a hole on this side and run them from the other direction. And then regardless, what I'm going to have to do is open up this middle section so that one, if I do butt them up together, I don't want this section to create any kind of a shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that, and I'll do that now. And then probably the ideal way would be to use the Dremel, and that'll make quick work of it. But I'm going to remove that now, and then one way or another, that I want that removed anyway. No shadow, and then I'll figure out if I'm just going to drill a hole on this side and butt them up together and have the lack of LEDs on the ends and see how that works out. So we might go that route. Depends on if I can find some LEDs that I feel confident that will work. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to black these out, and then I do have some chrome tape I'm going to put on the inside just to make sure that it helps amplify the light and also kind of spread it around. So it avoids having like what you might call a hot spot for the LEDs, where it's like super bright, super bright, super bright. I'd like to try to minimize that if I can. So there is going to be a diffuser, but the diffuser is not like absolutely the best thing in the world. So let's go ahead and get started on that, and we'll get this all blacked out and everything and go from there. See you guys after a bit. Okay, so I have my Dremel. We're just going to verify that I am going to be cutting on the right side. Yes, so this part is the bottom, so that works out perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these so that way I know which ones to take out. Right. All right. So we'll get these cut out, and then I'll get them painted. Okay, so that made quite the mess. I didn't have to get my files out. I had a power file. So I made quite the mess. I'm going to go ahead and just mask off this center section, and probably, I don't even know if I need to do this, mask off this part or not. I don't even really need to mask this off, but I am going to use chrome tape, so I figured masking this section off will be worth it. Okay, those are all masked off, so I'm just going to blacken the outsides for the light blocking abilities, and that should be nice and simple to do. In case you're curious why I folded this over, is because otherwise this tape gets stuck to things and it just makes a heck of a pain to try to move around and paint and all that kind of stuff. So again, all I'm worried about is here, the sides. If I get overspray in there, it's not a big deal. So that's how I'm going to paint those. I'll get those painted and we'll come back and um, go from there. See you guys after that's done. Welcome back, everybody. So here we are. We've got them all done. And as you can see, they'll go together like that. I'm not going to put the chrome tape on until I figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. So, but this is going to be the end of the video because if I'm going to get some other LEDs, I'll have to wait for those to come in, and I need to get this video done. So here you go. So they will fit together nicely together without having any kind of a divider. And as you can see, they're blackened like everything else. And like I said, I'll put the chrome tape in here. I wasn't too terribly worried about getting, you can see a little bit of overspray in there. That's not going to affect anything. I will probably chrome that part as well. So that'll get chromed up nicely. Won't be a problem. My boss does some stuff with LEDs, so I'm gonna check with him on if he has a line on, like a good way to know what I'm buying. So I think he'll be a pretty good resource for me, provided he's at work tomorrow. But I will check with him, and if he has some recommendations, I'll go with those. He is a man that knows, and I will, if I order some, when they come in, you will definitely see that put on. I will need to get this done by issue 91, I think it is, issue 90 or 91, because we're going to be putting on the diffuser, I believe. I looked ahead a little bit. I didn't look exactly, but I think that's what we're doing next time, or on issue 90 or 91, one of those two. But regardless, that's everything. Everything was to put it in, plug the lights in, and turn them on. And so even this picture here shows, you can see there's like a inch wide gap there where there's no light. And it's the videos that I've seen, it's very, very noticeable. And so I want to avoid that. I don't want to have that inch wide gap. I feel like that's something that they should have addressed when they were developing this. They could have basically done these parts exactly like this, because they don't like to send the big parts. So I understand sending them like this, but they could have done it so that way they went together just like that, and had one long strip of LEDs. That's the way they should have done it. So far, I would say that's the biggest downfall of this model, is just that in and of itself. The only other thing is, I would say, the fact that these two parts don't go together all that well, that's a big downfall too. I did see when I was trying to find some of the old videos old videos that I had watched to see how other people had handled this. And one guy had this black foil. I'm going to see if I can find that, but it's a black foil, and if I can find that, he used it to help black out some of the seams on the upper and lower when you put the upper and lower half together. And so if I can find that, I'm going to use that to block this out as well. I'll just basically glue it in and let it drape down or what have you, and that will hide that light there. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Otherwise, I've got a couple other ideas to kind of finalize that process. But that's everything in issue 88. In issue 89, we're going to get the base to put in the main cargo hold. So that will be exciting. We'll be breaking that bad boy back out and getting it inserted. How exciting is that? It'll be finally put into the base piece, the lower hull, and it's getting close, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you all for watching, and may the force be with you always.